Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be playing Ruby Steel again, doing some more testing. We're going to be doing best of 3 today. We don't usually do that, we usually do best of 1, but we're doing best of 3. I'm going to be playing the deck, and then after this we'll see if there's any additional changes we want to do, because we haven't done any major changes from the last change we did, which was adding like Slushy, and then like Grand Councilwoman and so on. So, without further ado, let's get into playing the game. So, looking at this, I think we have a pretty good curve. We have the power line and the shift power line, which is what we want. We have Slushy, we have Lumiere, and we have a song for the power line to sing, which means I don't think we need the Mulan or the Eye to Eye right now. And I also don't think we need the Lumiere because we have our 2 drops. We go 2, turn 2 power line, turn 3. We don't have a turn 3, so we can get a turn 3. But I think when you turn 2 power line, and yeah, we'll mulligan the Slushy, and that way then we can hopefully draw a 3 drop. Let's see here. Okay, so we didn't get a 3 drop, we got Strength, and we got Keep the Ancient Ways, which could be useful. But we don't have like a 2 drop, which is going to be kind of painful unless we can draw into 1. But we still have the turn 4 shift power line, which is nice. We have 2 power lines, which is actually also pretty good. So ideally though, with marching off to battle, we would want like a 1 drop, so then we could ink, play, and then we could banish and sing to draw more cards, but we don't have that right now. So I think first we will ink big power line and pass. And it looks like it's an Amethyst deck, so it's either Blurple or Amethyst Steel, maybe even Amethyst Emerald. Okay, so it looks like Amethyst Steel, because they're playing Pocahontas. We'll ink Hat Mulan and play Power Line. We'll be able to then play Strength, or hurl this Thunderbolt next turn onto the Pocahontas. And even play Keep the Ancient Ways, potentially. Or ink it. I don't know if we need to play it. Okay, so it's Amethyst Steel. That's pretty good. Oh, that's not good. Okay, that definitely hurts. And especially with the 3 drop. Okay, that's actually great. We drew a 3 drop, so that's going to change everything. We'll play Pete. But yeah, them taking out our turn for our singer is not going to be good. That really hurts our whole game plan. And thankfully we have a card to take out the Yzma. But yeah, this game is going to be a bit more difficult than initially planned. I think we take out the Pocahontas and turn. So yeah, that was not a great thing playing the David Xanatos. But I think right now we still have a chance. They're not too far ahead, so we can still come in and do some stuff. I think we'll play the Benja. We don't have any items to banish. I think we'll ink the Strength and then turn. They do have a 3 drop to play Sing Strength, but if we don't have it, then we can hopefully do some challenging. Okay, so that 10 War. This is not great for us. So we can challenge into Pocahontas, play her Thunderbolt onto Giant Cobra, but then we don't have any characters. I think we'll ink Marching Off to Battle, play Power Line, and then use this to take out the Pocahontas, and then turn. I honestly think this is the best thing we can do at the moment, because right now we're in a really bad spot. Okay, here's what we do. We ink Mulan, play Herald's Thunderbolt onto the Genie. Then we sing Beyond the Horizon, and just us. We want to be the ones to draw 3 cards. And then we resolve Powerline's ability, but there's no songs, which really hurts. No, we already inked. Oh, it would have been nice to play the Mulan earlier. We should have done that. And we'll end turn. So yeah, this is not going great. That taking out that turn 2 power line is like the big weakness of this deck. If we lose the power line, we can really get a lot. And then now they have the balance thing. I was hoping to hit a song off of the top to be able to remove, but we didn't get that, which is a really big shame. See, I think the game's over. I don't think there's really anything we can do. They quest for 4, so they don't have Cobra or a Gathering Knowledge of Wisdom or some kind of lore gain. We might have a chance. We'll play the power line. And I think ink the Mulan and end turn. So they don't have a Cobra, we're good. If they do have a Cobra, we lose. Or Gathering Knowledge of Wisdom. Okay, so they don't have that, but they might have a Strength, which would take this out, which would lose us the game. Yeah, okay. I don't think there's anything we can do aside from just playing this Beyond the Horizon and hoping we just do. We draw some good thing. Yeah, it's not enough. Yeah, okay. So that's game. They win. There was nothing we can do. Losing the power line completely messed up our game plan. So we'll go first this game. I think that'll help us. That was really bad though. As you can see, this deck, if we lose that and we can't like come back and we don't get, by losing that card, we really, by losing our turn 2 play, that really messed us up. So we couldn't shift power line and then begin cycling songs. But I think we're going to keep Pete because we want the 3-drop. I don't think we need power line right now. So we'll mulligan. And yeah, so we don't even draw a 2-drop. We draw the keep the Ancient Ways, but aside from that, I kind of like this a bit better. It's nice having Grand Collins Woodman and Slushy. Slushy will help us, I feel like, in this matchup a lot. So we'll ink Eye to Eye and enter because we don't need it right now. I found that Eye to Eye is useful to have in the deck, but it's really bad. It's good in certain situations, but bad in others. Like, it can be really useful to help you get the extra lore you need, or the extra lore, or what is it? Extra cards. But it's the type of thing that you don't want to overdo, because if you like chain 2 or more Eye to Eyes, you can give your opponent too many cards and too much lore to then just run away with the game. So we played a Pete. They have a Pocahontas and then a Captain Hook, or not a Captain Hook, a Christopher Robin. So they're going pretty aggressive, which is not great for us. We need to come back with something, otherwise we're in a really bad spot. So we're inking the Lumiere. I think we're gonna want to play the Slushy because we need to get control over the board. Yeah, we'll play the Slushy, and then we'll challenge the Christopher Robin. That does leave us open to a potential Cheshire Cat damage moving thing, but at this point we need to clear as much of their lore stuff as possible. And thankfully we'll be able to take out this Eye to Eye, this Gizmo pretty soon. So they strength the Slushy. Okay. We'll take this. We'll be able to take out this Yzma this turn, which is what we need to do. Because if we cannot let this Yzma stay around. I think. But then we leave the cat, which is annoying. I think we'll play Mulan, and we'll discard a Vincenzo. I would like to have that out, but I think we're going to ink it anyway. Because we'll ink the Pete, play Grand Councilwoman, and then we'll sing He Hurled His Thunderbolt onto the Yzma, and then we'll challenge the Christopher Robin, or the Christopher Robin, the Christopher Robin, no, the Pocahontas. So now they sell the cat, they could do some boosting stuff, which is not great. Of course they have a dock. Feels like they never not have the dock. Okay, so this is not bad. We'll play the Mulan, we'll draw. I think we'll discard that. We want to have the draw. We'll quest for 1 with that. And then we'll quest for 3 with the Grand Councilwoman. I think. And then we'll end turn. What I don't want is to open up the Mulan to be able to challenge with their thing and get damage on. They can do that with the Grand Councilwoman, but it costs more to challenge into it. I don't want them to remove Mulan, get damage, then boost, and then remove the Slushy. I'd rather, like, have it harder for them to get the board going, if that makes sense. 2 docks in the top 15 cards. So what will they do? Because this could depend the match. The game could come down to this. So they're questing with that. I think. So we want to draw off the Marching Off to Battle. And we want to probably sing the Strength. We want to draw cards. I think the Pocahontas, we have the Mulans. So the Giant Cobra can die. Okay, I think what we're going to do is use Grand Councilwoman will sing and we'll take out the Cheshire Cat. Yeah, the Cheshire Cat. Then we'll sing Marching Off to Battle, drawing 2 cards. Inking Powerline, playing that. And then challenging, taking out. Which leaves them with 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully we'll be able to draw cards off the Goliath, and that can change our game. 2 power lines is not what we wanted to see. Great. Okay, we see a Bee King Undisputed, so if we can somehow take out all of these, we can stop them. We can take out 3 of their characters, I think. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll challenge this against the Captain Hook, this against the Dock, this against the Cobra. We'll link that, play Bee King, and force them to banish. And then we have to end our turn. We draw a card. They go, draw their card, questing, and if they have a Cobra or a... Oh! That was a misplay. I completely forgot about the Pocahontas ability. So it wouldn't have mattered because we can exert our card, like even after exerting all of our cards, they can just quest and then gain lore. That was bad. So that was interesting. I think the story of this game is that this deck suffers when it doesn't have a 2-drop. If it loses its 2-drop, it really is painful because then we can't contest the board early. I've played against Amethyst Steel before, and we've been able to beat them. but I feel like some of the more aggressive versions is harder to deal with because we can't contest the early board. So that might be where we have to make some changes to the deck. So if we go to the Ruby Steel, we only have 4 1-drops, but part of me wonders if we should add more potentially the Liquidator to help contest that early board, which would be, I think, very useful, because without having like 2 or 3 Liquidators would help a lot, especially even on a turn 2 play. It can really be really useful. So I think we'll probably add that. We might cut 1 Lumiere as well to add that, to add the Liquidator and to keep the Ancient Ways. Because I feel like it's more important to have that early board control, and we don't typically play Lumiere. And then the keep the Ancient Ways doesn't always help. So I think cutting those would be nice for at least 2 Liquidators. But yeah, that was a brutal game. But anyways, yeah. So that was the first Ruby Steel deck today. We will do one more best of 3. And then we'll see how this changes with the Liquidator help, potentially. With this deck. And hopefully we can use it to get better control in the early board. I feel like if we can, this deck can really snowball if you can get the Singers online and then just be able to sing removal and so on. But if you don't get that online, you just never get anywhere, which is a big problem. Okay, so we have Powerline, we have Liquidator, we're going for second. Yeah, we're going second, so that means we can play the Liquidator in turn 1, which will be really useful. We don't have a turn 2, which is unfortunate, so we might want to mulligan into 1. We'll mulligan the Powerline. Do we want to mulligan the Strength? I think we'll mulligan the Beyond the Horizon. No, mulligan the Strength, keep the Beyond the Horizon. And yeah, so we got a Mulan, so that could be our like turn 2 drop, depending on what they play. That can determine how we play this, because this could be our turn 2. We go play turn 1 Mulan, and then turn 2 Liquidator, based upon what they play. Okay, so they played Basil. So this looks like an Amethyst Sapphire deck, which is probably one of the deck's worst matchups. I think having this Mulan is going to be useful because we just redrew the Shift Mulan, and we also have 2 Beyond the Horizons, which is never fun. So I think we want to go ahead, use that, and then discard a Beyond the Horizon because we already have one in our hand. Now this, I guess, could be Sapphire Emerald, but I don't know how many Sapphire Emerald decks play the Basil compared to Sapphire Amethyst. It might be more than I know. But yeah, so they play Sail. So far, we've only seen Sapphire. Oh my word, they had so much ramp in their hand. Okay, so we're going to ink Powerline and then play Liquidator and end our turn. This Mulan is really useful for helping us take control over the board. It's a shame when we have to ink it, but when we have it, it helps so much when they exert, they're not ready for it, and then we could just take out a bunch of their stuff. Okay, so yes, it is Sapphire Amethyst. Like I thought. I hate this. So we have to ink the Mulan to play the Pete. And then we have to challenge their Basil, because we have the Reckless Liquidator. And then we end our turn. And what's nice is we do have like 3/4 removal, so next turn, whatever they play, we'll just be able to take it out, most likely. This is where having the turn 2 Powerline can be really useful, because we could have taken out the Genie last turn. So instead they play the Isis though. And yeah, okay, that's not great. This is probably the worst situation, because we can't do anything, and now they can just run away with just challenging our stuff. We could come back, because we do technically have the removal. Yeah, we have to ink that, and we play that onto the Genie. Then enter. If we don't get a character though that can stick, we're gonna be out of this game. Drawing that uninkable Beyond the Horizon was not great. Because we discarded the other one earlier to prevent us from having to be in this situation, right? But now we're back in this situation. We're gonna hurl this Thunderbolt, the Dumbo, we can't have him drawing more cards. And then we'll ink the power line. Because we kind of want to get to the 7 cost so we can play the Beyond the Horizon and hopefully completely clear our, refill our hand and hopefully do better. But at this rate, that's not happening. Because we're drawing all of our uninkables. We have 15 uninkables and we've drawn how many have we drawn? We've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of we've drawn half of our uninkables in the top 14 cards of our deck, which is really bad. I don't think we're winning this game. That is, I've never seen us this deck get so screwed over by. I don't want to play the Gontu because that completely eliminates our. This game, yeah, this completely eliminates. I think we would completely eliminate our entire goal. I don't think there's any way we can win with this game. With this. Because this is not. Yeah, this has never. This has barely ever happened, but I guess it can happen. Oh. This is painful. This is really painful. And there's really nothing we can do. They're probably gonna win because they can just quest. We can't challenge the board at all. This deck does better, I'm telling you. You can go watch some of the other videos I've done with Ruby Steel, but this deck does better than this is making it out to be. Okay. Yeah, we'll just concede. There's no way we can do this. So we'll go to the next game. We'll go first. There was nothing we could do. That was so bad. Hopefully this game will be better. Okay, I think we're going first, so I guess we technically don't need the Liquidator. We'll mulligan the Beaking, the power line. We have the Slushy and the Pete that they could sing the Beyond the Horizon, so we'll mulligan 2 cards. Be nice to have the Mulan to get rid of this Gontu, because that Gontu's gonna be a pain. Yeah, we'll ink that and then turn. And if you notice, I do play a bit more risky with the mulligans. I keep certain cards I probably necessarily shouldn't, especially the number of uninkables in this deck. But I honestly feel like in some cases it's worth the risk a lot of times. Because now we draw an uninkable and we get to play the P and then we can sing Herald's Thunderbolt and remove their stuff. We have the power line, and right now they can't remove it because they're not on the play, thank goodness. Otherwise they could, because otherwise they could bounce it with a Tigger, or they could exert it with the Isis Vanderchill. But in this case, we don't have that, so doesn't have that right now. So, okay, so we have the Mulan. Now the question is, do we sing the Huron Thunderbolt onto the Basil? I think we do, because if they play something else, we could lose our Thunderbolt, or power line. And we don't want that. So even if they play a Tigger, which will balance our power line, that's better than them playing an Isis Vanderchill and exerting our power line and then challenging into it with thing. Yeah, so at least we removed a threat. So we're gonna ink the power line then and play the Slushy. And then turn. Because the next turn we can play the Beaking, Disputed, sing Beyond the Horizon, draw 3 cards, maybe even discard their hand depending on how much cards they have. Ideally we would have been able to sing Beyond the Horizon last turn, even with the Beaking Undisputed, because then we could have discarded their hand, but alas, that's not the case right now. Unless they play an Elsa, which wouldn't be great. Because they're questing it with the Tigger. Is this a deck that plays Madam M Elephant? Or did they brick? Or what? I wonder what they're going to do. So it'll be interesting to see how they play. Okay, they play a Dumbo, which probably needs to die. Needs to die as soon as possible. Which actually we could do. We could challenge the Tigger. Take out the Tigger, then play the Beaking Undisputed. And that would wipe their board. Yeah, I think we challenge Tigger. Then we play Beaking Undisputed, force them to banish their Dumbo. And then I guess we'll gain one more and then end turn. So I think that way then, if they play an Elsa, they'll remove our Slushy. And then, but the Elsa will also die. And then we can play our Gontu. And then next turn sing the Beyond the Horizon. Ink the Headless Horseman. Which leaves us with more characters on board. And also they would, in order to play Let It Go, they have to pay 7 for it. So I think we're at a good spot. So the question is, yeah, I think I'll sing the Strength. Oh, that's not, whoops. Right, actually no, I have to do this differently. Thinking that, and then we sing the Beyond the Horizon. That's what I wanted to do. Confirm. Just me. Okay, and then we will play the Ariel and enter. So now this is where the deck can start finally doing stuff, because we actually have characters that can on the board that we can start using to contest, and we actually have more cards than they do, so that's actually a really good spot to be in. And now this is where the decision comes in. This is where Eye to Eye could be really important, because we could sing Eye to Eye, right? Which would allow us to deal 3 damage because of the Ariel to something, so preferably probably the Genie. Then we can challenge into the Isis then with the Pete, because our cards are ready, and depending on what we draw, we could also sing another song to take out another character, but that would also give them cards, which could allow them to reset. The safer play would be inking Mulan, or inking the Eye to Eye to play the Vincenzo to take out the Isis. But then we don't have any evasive stuff to take out. I think we're gonna sing the Eye to Eye. I feel like that's the smart. That's a better version. So we're gonna pay 2 ink to deal 3 damage to the Genie. Okay. And we have the Strength. So we'll sing that to strength the Genie. And then we'll use Ariel. Resolve to pay 2 and deal 3 damage to the Isis. Then I think, do we ink? I think we'll keep that. Well, they might play a Demona, so we might want to get some card value. We'll ink the Eye to Eye. End turn. So let's see what they do. So now we've kind of established a bit more board control. They do have more cards, but now we're in a better spot. And now we can play Vincenzo on our turn and take out the Vanderchill, which will be great. So we'll play Vincenzo. Resolve, dealing 3 damage to that. And we could quest, which I don't think we want to do, because then they can challenge 36. They could take out our Ariel with the Cheshire Cat on play, especially with boosting and everything. I think 6. End turn. So this is a situation where now we're in actually a better spot. This is kind of what we want to be in. This is what we want to be in, because now they have to make hard decisions, and they're right now still top decking. And they didn't do anything, and we drew a Herald's Thunderbolt. That's really good. That's really good. So we can sing the Herald's Thunderbolt, take out the Cheshire Cat, resolve. We're going to pay 2 and choose to deal 3 damage to a Rafiki. And then we'll play a Benja as another character. There's nothing items to do, and then we'll quest for 3. So now we're in a better spot. We've been able to take out their... Okay, so the Hades, the Ariel, which is fine right now. But we're in a really good spot. And this is another card. We have Headless Horseman, which should help us deal more damage. We'll use the... But don't we get to draw then? How much damage do I get to deal? Oh, do we not hit anything? I guess it deals 0 damage to the Hades. Do we not draw then discard any actions? That's a shame. Wow. Okay. But still, we'll quest for 3 with that, and we'll enter. So having extra body on board is helpful. It would have been nicer to be able to deal damage. Oh, into the unknown. It would have been nicer to be able to deal damage, but that unfortunately didn't happen. Okay, we can play both of these now. So, but this is kind of the nice thing. We get to take advantage of the ink that the Sapphire decks have thankfully given to us, so graciously given to us. So it's not even that bad when they do remove our stuff. And this Mulan's going to be a nice threat, which is actually kind of nice with this deck. The idea is that we have multiple cards that when we do get to kind of get online, we can play multiple threats onto the board that force them to decide what cards they're taking out. Okay, now they got all their actions. They have 2 Into the Unknowns in a row. That's like not fun because we wanted to have that earlier. So we're giving we wanted them to put them earlier for the, what's it called? The Headless Horseman. But yeah. And this Ariel, okay, so this Ariel is nice. We're able to play a song which allows them to banish one of their characters and give our Mulan evasive. So we can quest for 3, so now they don't have any evasives. They draw another Into the Unknown. I'm gonna completely flip. Like, that's just... I mean, come on. They drew 2. Oh, no! No! That's 3 Into the That is painful. They were supposed to get that earlier with the Headless Horseman, but instead they draw a dang... Into the Unknown, like 3 characters, and then now they draw Into the Unknown. That is just... That is really annoying. Oh, Demona, that's nice. That's actually really good. I don't mind that at all. But still, 3 Into the Unknowns in a row. After playing the Headless Horseman, that is so annoying. It's like, come on. What are you doing? What are they doing? Okay. We'll play Vincenzo. We'll deal the 3 damage to the Demona, and then we have 4, so we'll just Thunderbolt the Demona. And we'll give evasive, I guess, to him. And then we will challenge the Basil. But, oh my word, that's really annoying. Watch them draw another Into the Unknown and take out our Ariel. That would just be sad. So, let's see here. Do we want them to draw? Because they have a Hades, we just have an Ariel. Like, if they draw a Let It Go, then they just take it out anyway, but that gives us ink and waste removal rather than just... We'll let them draw. I don't want to lose our Vincenzo. I feel like the decisions with this Hades can be really important when you have game states like this, where it's just like there's so much you could be doing. Yeah, let it go. But like at least this way we got an ink off of it and they used a removal instead of us just losing the card off the Hades. Like, if we had said no, and then they drew a card, then they would have drawn the Let It Go eventually, and then they could have used the Let It Go to take out our stuff later on. So, but then we'd be in a worse situation. So at least this way, we're in the same situation, but we have an extra ink, and they used a removal with Let It Go. So I don't know what they're doing now. Are they gonna wait to play their fourth Into the Unknown on our Ariel? Is that what they're doing? No, they can't do that. Have they not? Have they just waited to end their turn? I don't know what they're doing. Hello? I don't know why they're just sitting there. Like, I don't think there's anything else they can do. We're gonna ping them. Okay, so they responded. Okay, there we go. So, we have 12. I love being in this situation, having more ink than the Sapphire player. That's just awesome. So we'll play Mulan. We'll play Slushy. Actually, we'll exert the game one. If they have a Hades in hand or some other removal, I feel like that's just gonna... We're dead. We'll lose if they do that. But no, they think they have a genie, which is not the worst. They'd rather them have a genie than anything else. Do I really want them drawing 2 cards now? I still have some characters to do. Because you can quest for 4. But if I let them draw, they might just draw another Let It Go. But in this case, I don't want them to have any cards because they have no cards. I'll put on the bottom. But to trust our deck to draw something good. So we probably will draw something good because we have more than enough ink to do stuff with. We're not going to be punished necessarily when it comes to ink. Just hope it's not something bad. Question for that. They support something, and well, we'll be able to clear those on our turn. Oh yeah, see? There. Okay, so this has 3 strength. So yeah, we'll use this to take out the Basil. We don't want the Basil sitting there anymore. I'll use this to take out the Hades. Let's reduce their board. Because we could have quested, but I don't want them having more characters out than us. And so now we're at a 3-2, and then they have to trade with the genie. LeChuck's Guidebook! Are they ever not gonna have draw? Amethyst is so annoying. Honestly, I hate playing against specifically Blurple because it just feels like they're just always drawing something. Like they run out of cards and they just go draw. Versus us, like I think we have... Yeah, we played 3 of our draw stuff. We inked at least another one, so... Okay, and Iago. We draw Strength of Raging Fire, that'd be really nice about now. That's really nice. So we'll do that with the Hades. Sing marching off to battle. Yay, we hit Strength, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Then we get to target the Iago. Play Herald's Thunderbolt, take out the Hades, and then play Mulan, and we'll decline that. That's exactly what we wanted to see. They only have 14 cards left in their deck. Okay, how much... Let's see, this is where the discard is important. They have played 1 Let It Go. So there's more Let It Go's they have. They could have way more Let It Go's. Oh, Cusco. That's interesting. Yeah, sure. Okay. Benja. Play Benja. Oh, banishing the item that we have to take it. And I think we quest too. And turn. What is there? There's still Let It Go's and Hades that they can draw, which is sad. They play 2 Hades. If they have 4 Hades, which I'm assuming they do. They've only played 1 Let It Go. Demona! Love to see it. Love to see Demona when you have no cards in hand. This deck can definitely take advantage of cards that have like Demonas, because we just play another power line, and then we play an Aerial and a Liquidator. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to challenge. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll challenge the Cusco. And then turn. Because everything else is drying. So this back and forth is just insane. Okay, of course they Hades. Of course they Hades. I think we're at the point where we probably are losing this, because they can quest for 2, 3, 4, get to 16. Well, actually, did I do my math wrong earlier? I feel like I might have misdid my math. Because they had the Cusco, which is 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they couldn't have won. I should have quested instead of challenging. I think I should have quested instead of challenging. Because that could have been the difference. This has to challenge. We'll challenge the Demona. Then we have to challenge Demona as well. Then end turn. So now their only removal they have is Hades. They can only remove with Hades because we played the Pete. And yeah, they have the Hades. I think we misplayed earlier. I should have quested with the power line. I think I somehow misdid the math because Cusco is 2. I'm gonna have to look back at that because I feel like I completely misdid the math. What do we draw? Aerial. No! Wait, undo. I wanted to challenge because challenging is more fun right now. Because now we can't win. I need to go back and see that replay of that. Because I feel like we could have won if we had quested, then we might have been able to win. So let's go ahead and look at that. But anyways, yeah, so that's the deck. It's pretty fun. I feel like the Liquidator definitely helps. And as you can see, it's actually it doesn't have a terrible matchup into Sapphire Amethyst, especially as you saw, we were able to, even on the play with Sapphire Amethyst, be able to really be able to take control and actually even, like, you know, go back and forth against them. Okay, yeah, here we are. So this was, what did I do? So they were at 12. And they could quest for 2, 4, 5, 6. They can quest for 6 to 18. If I had quested with this power line, then we would be at 18. And they would have had to do more. They couldn't just run the Elsa into the power line. They might have had to use Demona or use the Hades to take out the second power line. In which case, I think we would have just been left with the Aerial to quest for 1. Which would have meant they wouldn't have the Demona, I think. And we would be able to win. So we'd be at like 19 potentially. And then we could quest with the thing. Yeah, okay, so that's what happened. But anyways, that was 2 good games. We lost, but the second game of the second match, we were able to actually do well.